Hello everyone. Today's question, power of 2. Given an integer, write a function to determine if it is a power of 2. So now I will move to pen and paper and explain you the three different approach how can we solve this problem. So today's problem is power of 2. You are given an integer that is n equals to 16, and what you have to do, you have to write a function to determine if it is a power of 2 or not. If it is power of 2, then you have to return true, and if it is not, then you have to return false. Okay. For this, n equals to 16. 16 is an integer, so 16 is a 2 to the power 4. If 2's power is 4, then it will be 16. Okay, so we can solve it using log also. So in log, so that is 4, 2 to the power 4, that is 16. Okay, so but here first I will solve it using a pretty straightforward approach. That is first simple and straight approaches. So first I will keep dividing this integer n by 2, and in any iteration, if n modulation 2 becomes non-zero and n is not 1, then is not a power of 2. If n becomes 1, then it is power of 2. Okay, let's start. So first, so this is 16. So I will take a while loop, and inside this while loop I check our n not equals to 0, sorry, not equals to 1. If n not equals to 1, then we will check, iteratively check. First, inside this while loop I check n modulation by 2 equals to sorry, modulation 2 not equals to 0. Means if n modulation 2 not equals to 0, then we can say this is not a power of 2. If this line execute, then we will return false. Okay, and if it is not, and then if it is not, then we just simply write here another line, that is n equals to n by 2. Okay, now we check our code with this value of n is 16. So our first n is 16, and check n not equals to 1. Yes, n not equals to 1 because n is 16. Now check n modulation by 2. N modulation by 2 not equals to 0. N modulation by 2 not equals to 0. No, n modulation by 2, that is equals to 0 because our n is 16, and 16 by 2, that is 8, 0. So so it is 0. So this condition also not satisfied. So now we'll move to this part. Okay, and now our n means 16. 16 is 16 by 2, so that is 8, and check 8 is 8 not equals to 1. No, so n is 8, and now we check if n modulation to 8 modulation 2, that is again 0. So this is also not satisfied, and again our 8 by 2, that is 4, and again our n is 4. Check n not equals to 1. Yes, n not equals to 1. So so check this line, n modulation by 2 not equals to 0. Now n modulation by 2 equals to 0. So again we will perform this line. So now our n equals to 2. So again check this. So n not equals to 2, yes, sorry, n not equals to 2, yes, n not equals to 2. If n modulation by 2, n modulation not equals to 0, no, n modulation by 2 equals to 0. So now we check n equals to n by 2. Now it is 0. So now this condition is not satisfied, so we will exit from this while loop and return true as our answer. So I hope you understood this solution, and there is another solution also. So that is bit manipulation solution. You can solve this using bit manipulation also. So that is nothing. There is one line solution, that is n means 16 and 16 greater than 0, 16 greater than 0 and 16 greater than 0 and n bitwise operator and n minus 1. n minus 1, if this is equals to 0, then if this is equals to 0, then we will return true, because this is power of 2. If it is not, then we will return false. Okay, so so this is our second solution, and third is using log. So now we'll move to the implementation part, and I will write the code in implementation part. First I will check the base case. If n equals to 0, then I will return false, and I will take a while loop and I will write a condition. If n not equals to 1, then I will check. If this condition passes, then I will check n modulation by 2. n modulation by 2 not equals to 0, then we will return false. So now I will divide n by 2. I will keep dividing n by 2 until our n not equals to 1. Now I will return true and check our code is working or not. Yeah, it's got accepted. Now I will write another code, that is return, that is bit manipulation. Return if n greater equals to 0 and n minus 1 equals to 0, then we will return true. We will return true as our answer. If n and n minus 1 equals to 0, then we will return true as our answer. Otherwise we will return false. So now we'll check our code is working or not. Yeah, code is got accepted. And another approach is we can solve it using log also. If n equals to 0, then we will return false, and otherwise we return math.cell log 10 log n base 10, sorry, log this is n base 10 by math.log 2 base 10 equals to math.floor n base 10 by math.2 base 10, means same, just using math.floor. So now instead of using cell, I use here floor. Now I check our code is working or not. Yes, code is working. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. So if you are new to this channel, please consider subscribe and don't forget to hit the bell icon.